Hey everybody, I hope you had a good week and are staying healthy and doing your Cellercising. Remember, if you get on a Cellerciser first thing and you go through your warm-up and then you run as fast as you can for 1 minute, we know through Dr. Arthur C. Guidance research in medical physiology, you can increase the number of active white blood cells in your body by 10 to 15 times. And they'll stay there up to 1 hour. So 1 minute for 1 hour of your own natural antibiotic.
Hi, Vitor. We're glad you joined us.
Good, good. Christine, how's it gone for you this week?
This has kind of been a rough week for me. Got sick.
Yeah.
But I did notice with the sinus infection, and I can get them pretty bad. This one wasn't quite where it used to be. I'm like, even though I didn't feel good, I actually did get on my Cellerciser and baby bounce, health bounce, and I noticed that things started draining instead of just sitting with that intense pressure. And so I'm thankful for it, but it was still quite a doozy to get through that. I'm starting to feel better, and
good.
I'm doing pretty well considering. So starting to lose weight, and excited about that.
Hey, that's exciting.
And so yeah, so it's been pretty good this week. Considering that I haven't felt good.
But you're doing the right thing. Getting on that Cellerciser helps to activate the lymphatic system, the immune system. Very common if people have a head cold or an allergy or they're stuffy, the movement up and down creates pressure changes up and down that opens up that circulation and just frees the sinuses. You may still have a runny nose. You still have to go through the process, but with Cellercise you can go through it a lot faster, especially when you challenge your body and run really, really fast and then go lay down. But at least your body is working more effectively and efficiently to get rid of those foreign invaders.
Okay, where do you want to start tonight?
Well, we got a phone call today at the office from Donna, and I wanted to share what Donna had to say. She calls up, and of course we asked her, how you doing? And she says, awful. Just terrible. I said, why? What happened? Well, my ex got ran over by a bus. And that's not the worst of it. Really, what's worse? They won't let me drive a bus anymore. So anyway.
Okay, that's awful.
I know. It's anyway, thank you, Donna. Thank you for sharing that. That was really sweet. What I want to do right now is, we've had people say that the balance bar has been difficult for them to be able to negotiate or put on the Cellerciser. So I want to demonstrate and go through, let you see from the very beginning how to set the balance bar up, whether it's the full-size balance bar or the streamlined balance bar. It doesn't matter. They pretty much work the same way. You just skip a leg on the larger one than you do on the smaller one. So if we can have the camera pointed right here, I'm going to show how. And
if you can't happen to see it because of the comments, you can swipe to the right and the comments will disappear while he's doing this if you need to. Let me see if I can tilt it. Is this much better? Okay.
All right. We just set the unit up first, and then what you're going to do is put the hinge on top with the legs facing toward you. And then you're going to take, if you have the streamlined balance bar, you're going to go to the right of the hinge, take off one rubber foot, go to the left of the hinge, take off another rubber foot. If you have the full-size balance bar, you'll go to the next foot and take it off. And then with the balance bar, you're going to line the pieces up. Whoops. I lost my voice. All right. You're going to line the push pin and the holes up, and just until they snap into place, both sides. And then take the top bar, line it up with the hole, put both sides. I don't know if anybody's timing this, but it's really not taking that much time. Once you have it all together, Then you come over to the legs, and the bar may be a little wider than the legs, so you pull it in or push it out depending, and you just start sliding it over the legs. Now you don't have to get it all the way on. Just get it onto the beginning of the legs like you see here, then just kind of drop it down and then give it a good little stomp. Then I put the rubber feet back on. And we're ready to begin. Okay. So let's share a couple customer reviews. We've gotten a lot of them this week. I want to thank you for sharing those. Some of you have been Cellercising for weeks, months, years. And it really makes a difference when you share with the Cellercise family the experiences that you've gone through and how you've overcome some of the challenges. But before I read these, I want to talk a little bit about motivation again. It's been said by Paul J. Meyer, somebody who I really respected when he was around. He said, got to think of it, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. So we vividly imagine it. You imagine the end result. As you imagine the end result and you hold on to that vision, you hold on to that image, your desire to accomplish that is going to increase. Now we're going to go through the obstacles to reach our goal or objective. And that's okay. But we don't want to focus on the obstacles. We want to recognize what they are, and then we want to develop a strategy for overcoming the obstacles. If it's motivation, if it's convenience, if it's just not feeling good, we need to think of ways that we can motivate ourselves to get around that. And I've talked a little bit about some of the ways I've done it. But once you've done that, and you start to develop a skill set for doing this every day before you get up, before you can go to bed, whatever the case may be. As you do it and you develop a habit of doing it, sometimes we have a tendency to focus on the obstacles. I'm not losing weight fast enough. My knee's not better yet. Or whatever the case may be. We don't want to take our focus off the goal or the objective and then look at the obstacle. We want to be grateful for where we are right now and enjoy the journey. Appreciate where we are. Hold on to the vision of where we want to go. But recognize that, hey, I feel good about who I am. I feel good about where I am. I know every day and every way I'm getting better and better. And know that that's true. And with that, I want to read some of the customer reviews.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ollie. He says, for the record, Cellercising during the first 3 months completely cured my long-standing symptoms of transverse colon prolapse, and it hasn't come back since then. I was very careful in the first few months to pull my stomach in and up during bouncing, and still do that to this day. This recovery is testimony to the fact that ligamentous attachments that anchor the inner organs are strengthened and tightened throughout. And those are the connective tissues. And they're very important to help lift, tighten, and tone from the inside out. I don't think this is possible with any other form of exercise. Amazing. Ollie, thank you very much for sharing that. And, you know, a lady put it beautifully years ago, and I'm sure I've shared it many times, when she said, as I hit midlife, I felt like everything was headed south. Now that I've been Cellercising, I feel like everything's headed north again. Remember, it's weight bearing from the inside out, not just from the outside in. All right, Anna writes, just wanted to say that my daughter and I am benefiting beyond belief. I don't have tingling in my legs and feet and hands. My legs are looking trimmed and fit. My stomach feels good and tight. Even my face and under the chin look good. For my daughter, who has low muscle tone, this is so helpful in so many ways. Going to the bathroom is easier. She doesn't seem bloated, and her upper legs are getting better. Cellulite is diminished. When we skip a few days, for whatever reason, we go back to flabby and feeling yucky. So back on we jump. And it's true, Cellercise does become a way of life. It's the best wake-up call we can give ourselves every morning when we wake up and we start to move up and down and we stimulate the thyroid and the adrenals and the endocrine system, and everything is gently being massaged over 100 times a minute. I just want to say I'm so happy with my Cellerciser. I was starting to have numbness and tingling in my legs all the time. They would fall asleep and I was worried about my circulation. I got the Cellerciser and have been using it for 2 weeks. I'm glad to say that the numbness and tingling has gone away! Exclamation points. My legs are feeling so much better. Hopefully by continuing to use it, I can get rid of cellulite. I'll let you know. And this just came in yesterday. So yeah, these are great stories. And again, I don't know many issues that the Cellerciser hasn't been able to help. Now, we can't make claims, but we can say try it, see for yourself, experience the results as we increase circulation and we treat the body collectively as a whole, not as simply parts. Okay, last one. I've been using my Cellerciser for 2 weeks now and love it. I've noticed a great improvement already. My chiropractor also noticed how much easier it was to adjust my back after just a few days. I'm excited to see the results and get his impression in 2 weeks when I go back for the next adjustment. Thank you, Dave, for all your great teaching and info that you give. Happy to be a part of the family. Thank you, Angie. And that's true. Chiropractors make adjustments. The muscles are generally not used to the new alignment. So they have a tendency to pull the back out of alignment, and we go for another adjustment. Most chiropractors really don't have time to work on the supporting muscles and ligaments that support the skeletal system in the back. So when we work with chiropractors, very often they'll make the adjustment and then immediately have the patient get on the Cellerciser when appropriate, and they gently move up and down, just like this. The movement up and down creates a weightless weight activity that causes the muscles to flex around the new alignment, and it expedites the whole healing process. People do hold their adjustments longer, and they are easier to adjust, and over time, as we do some of the other exercises on the Cellerciser, we actually become more flexible too.
Okay,
all right.
Ready for some questions?
Yes, let's have some questions.
I did notice one on there, and I'm sorry I haven't been on the screen to see other things that have come across, so we'll get to those answers later. Someone had asked, so how soon before I see inches? I think everybody's path is unique.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's just know that the inches can come pretty quickly. They can also take a little bit of time. You're working from the inside out, and often we're burning weight from the inside first, and then we're reaching the weight on the outside. Very common. We get on a Cellerciser doing the Jamba Run, increases metabolism, challenges the body for the need of more fuel, which it looks for, and it starts to burn that off. But everybody's a little different. I dropped a belt notch in 1 month, and I didn't even know what I was doing yet. But it takes time for some people because you're working on circulatory systems. You're working on supporting muscles and ligaments, and as they get stronger, you're able to put more effort and more intensity into the routine, and then the results start to come faster.
Okay, this one's kind of interesting. That's just on here from Melissa. Is it possible this helps anemia? I have noticed I don't have to take iron pills anymore. So it helps our circulation, right? It
does. It absolutely helps circulation from within the bones as well as in the entire system, because the entire body is literally being massaged over 100 times a minute with no impact or jarring effect. So again, the pumping action helps to increase that circulation, and the entire endocrine system is involved with it as well. And so creating balance, not just physically, but chemically, we're seeing happen more and more with the Cellerciser as well.
Okay, let's start on these questions that were posted. Right. I had a couple that asked about Cellercising while they're pregnant.
Yep.
And is there specific movements that they are allowed to do, or can they do it all? So
Good.
why don't you address that so they know how to handle it while they're pregnant?
Okay, watch out for pregnancies, because when you Cellercise, it's very common your body parts and functions are going to be looser, more flexible, and much more responsive. We have had numerous cases of women who, when they went into labor, like my wife did, had a 10-minute or 20-minute delivery because everything happens so quickly. It's so responsive because Cellercise keeps flexibility, strength, and circulation operating at more optimal levels. Now, that being said, always consult with your doctor because I don't know what your situation is. However, with most people who have been physically active, it's fine to be physically active on a Cellerciser. In fact, it can be more beneficial, both to you and the baby, because there's a lot more fluid or circulation, ambiotic fluid, oxygen and nutrients getting to the baby as the baby is developing as well. And it's very common to have this movement in our normal day-to-day activity. So getting on a Cellerciser and just gently moving up and down, great. Rocking side to side, that's great. Jogging, if you've been active, is generally just fine. Even things like this, where you're working on tightening and toning and working on the body. Most of your physical activities you can continue, and on a Cellerciser you don't have the jarring impact, so it can be a lot easier. Now, as you get toward the last trimester, it's very healthful and helpful if you're noticing or feeling like you're having back pains, is to lie down on the Cellerciser, put your feet up on a chair, and with your knees slightly bent and a little pillow behind your head, and then when you're laying down, somebody's standing over you and gently moving up and down. Wonderful feeling. It takes the pressure off the back, helps to increase circulation again to you and to the baby. Rocking side to side helps to loosen up the lower back area and other issues that occur with that tension when you're carrying a baby. So that can be very, very helpful. And then after delivery, when you want to tighten and tone again, sitting down on the Cellerciser. Can we see? Yeah. Supporting your back, gently moving up and down is all in the stomach area. It's going to help to tighten and tone the lower abdominals, help actually increase contractions so that they can help firm up faster. And we found that out. By taking your leg, lifting it up, you can focus more weight in the lower abdominals. And again, lifting up the other leg, you can focus weight on that side until you become strong enough that you can lift up both legs and bounce up and down. But don't force it. You don't need to. It'll just happen naturally.
Okay.
So that's good.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure I can read this right. Okay. Could you discuss fascia, right?
Fascia.
Fascia and how it is affected by Cellercise.
You know, that's one of the things that I'm bringing to an awareness to people right now is that Cellercise, I believe, is the next evolutional step in athletic performance. When we do the strength and balance test on people, that's real. The unique advantage of Cellercise over typical exercise is that it treats the body collectively as a whole, not as different parts. So muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones help to maintain the structure of the body, but so does the fascia. And the fascia is all the connective tissue and the skin and the collagen that work in and throughout the entire body. When a person has superhuman strength or balance, and I don't know if we talked about that, and they can lift a car off of somebody, they can't do that with their muscles and ligaments and tendons alone, or they'd have a hernia, or they would tear up their back or different areas of their body. But when they're able to do it, it's because the fascia, it collectively as a whole is also involved. The adrenaline is moving through the body, but the whole body has created this enormous amount of energy flow that isn't restricted. When you're Cellercising, you're opening up the energy flow in the body. I've had a chi master tell me, he said, David, your chi is greatest at the top of the bounce because you have no restrictions on the body. And as you come down, the entire body expands and contracts collectively as a whole. And so we are generating energy and strength as we are moving up and down collectively. That's why people are so much stronger after they've been Cellercising.
Okay. So. Thank you. All right. Can I use a lightweight instead of the DynaFlex and gyro spinner for my forearm and elbow pain? Okay. It seems, I can't seem to get the spinner going, so she sent it back. I even tried spinning it with different techniques, but she's hoping there's something else, but maybe we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. No to weights. I don't encourage weights. See, weightlifting, it's a sport. Again, we're the only species in the world that does it. You'll never see a dog, cat, monkey, or any species of animal out there pumping iron weights or doing all these insane programs that you see on television all the time. And yet they're very strong, they're agile, they're flexible. Nothing wrong with weightlifting. It's more of a sport. It tears down to build up. It doesn't build flexible muscles, it builds harder muscles are strong. That's fine. If you incorporate Cellercise, you can even get results in weightlifting up to 26% faster. And if you watch our DVD, Cellercise, the ultimate exercise, you'll see a bodybuilder who won 3 national championships incorporating Cellercise with his training program. But all that aside, when you tear down, when you hold, for example, a 2-pound weight and you're bouncing with it, it's not 2 pounds anymore. It can be quite a bit more depending upon where it's being leveraged. So you suffer the potential of causing more damage to ligaments and tendons, or building up where the muscles are so tight in a particular area of the body that you lose your flexibility. So I would prefer, if you're doing things, just take a tennis ball and move your wrists around while you're doing a tennis ball if you can't do it with a DynaFlex. And both tennis balls, and move your arms up and down. While you're moving that, you're working ligaments and tendons as you're also bouncing, which is also increasing circulation. And that can be very, very effective.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Does the Jamba Run work the inner and outer thighs also, or is there another exercise for that?
There's another exercise for that. Not to say that the Jamba Run won't burn off weight around the thighs. It will do that. It'll burn it off wherever you got it. But this is the Jamba Run, and it's extremely intense and very effective. But if you want to work on the inner outer thigh more effectively, we call it the ski patrol, or the whippy ski patrol. There's a couple ways of doing it, and it's on our website. Standing on one side of the mat, you step over to the other side, and you just add a hop to it. See, with my knees slightly bent, I'm working and you can put your hands on your thighs, I'm working the inner outer thigh, the hips, and both sides of the knee, as well as the ankles. So if you like to go skiing, you do the same thing, going skiing, and that's intense. Having a balance bar, I'm just noticing myself, having a balance bar to hold on to gives you the ability to put more intensity into the movement. And again, that's how we get fast results. But those are good. Jumping side to side helps all along this part of the body. But this one here, or this one here, is really going to concentrate more on the thighs.
Okay. All right, we have people wondering what the status is on our app.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the Jamba Run, I say we all develop a love-hate relationship with it. We love it because it works. We hate it because it's tough. Well, there's more hoops to jump through on the app than I'd expected. So this is what it looks like. Is it done? Yes. Is it available yet? No. We have to get approval from Apple, and right now we're getting our website set up so that you can go to the landing page on the website, and it will take you through a little demo on how to make it work. We're working on some issues with that right now. But the app itself, we got the beginning, intermediate, advanced, the senior.
Let's see if I can bring this in, and
again, you're going to be able to...
people can really see this.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can.
Oh, that reflection of the light. There we go. There we go.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Okay, so I'll hit advanced. If you hit beginning, there's nothing wrong with that either. You've got all these various different routines you'll be able to pick from, anywhere from just 2 minutes to you've got over 11 minutes, so you can work up to it. Then we've got intermediate, those are more advanced movements, advanced, senior section. And of course, as I mentioned, the create your own. Is it done yet? Not quite. We've got, well, the app's done. I can show you what the app looks like. This is a female version, or you can pick your own graphic, male or female. And I'm just kind of going through some of the movements that you see. You'll do it, you'll set the amount of time, you can pick your own music. That's the Jamba walk. There's your ski patrol, whippy ski patrol. Jamba walk again. So you can create your own routine, hip to hip, rock, Jamba Run, a little more intense. And so you're going through and you're creating different routines. Now we have additional, in this is the advanced section, so this is just a demo. That's a tough one. We shouldn't be starting off with that one. That's a tough one too. That's also, again, this is advanced. In the intermediate section, I show you how to do it a little easier. But you can create your own routines. You can create your own programs. Yes, we're excited about it. Yes, we're also frustrated. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for hanging in there. We're this close. We really are. I'm on the phone. I've been on the phone all day today with the technicians saying, hey, can we get this done? Can we get this done? We're there. So they're working on it. I'll report more. Hopefully next week we will have it available. And we'll be able to upload that and enjoy it. And there'll be a nominal charge. Again, we're going to have over 30 different pre-made routines. Plus you can actually clone one of our routines and change it and adapt it and add different movements to it or different music or a different background. And or you can create your own from scratch. But it's normally going to be $49.95 for a full year. And we're going to have the pre-launch available for $29.95. And it's not a moneymaker for us. The objective is to help you get results, and it becomes a tool to help you do that. So thank you again. We're looking forward to it. And Christine, is there anything else you want to share?
I think we had just 2 more questions, if
Sure.
you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Do you know if there are any exercises to help with cervical vertebrae subluxation?
Cervical vertebrae subluxation. It's an issue where you have a disc or inflammation in the disc, and it's uncomfortable on the nerves. With the Cellerciser, there's movements that we do to help open up the back and the neck, and that's taking the elbow, for example, sticking it up over your head, and gently opening up the vertebral joints on the right side of the body. When we get to this point where we feel some stretch, we just gently hold the position and gently move up and down. And the objective is to, again, open up that whole upper back area. And then here we move the opposite way to the right, opening up the upper cervical area again, to the point where eventually we will be doing things like this, which is working the shoulders. This is all on the DVD, Cellercise, the ultimate exercise. And a lot of the issues, and I've been learning more about this through epigenetics and some of the doctors that I've worked with, it works because of where the atlas connects to the vertebral joints and supports your head. So doing little movements where you can do circular movements directly underneath the skull can help relieve headaches, can help improve flexibility. And then you can, again, do different movements in that neck area. And you just kind of work your fingers in circular movements, kind of pushing up, so that you're massaging the tissue, but you're also increasing circulation because fluid is moving up and down. You're helping to move that fluid between the vertebral joints to the disc. And you can actually feel areas in the neck that may be tender. And you can work those a little while. And after a week, couple weeks of doing that, we've heard phenomenal results. Again, and we've shown this before, where you're taking your arm and you're working the scapula area and the upper back also, just by pulling to the side a little bit, doing the same thing the other way. And it's going to open up, especially if you have stress or tension in the muscles in the back and the scapular area. And then doing this movement here, and we showed this in some of the previous movements. You're basically giving yourself a bear hug, and then you're moving back, and then your arms are switching one over the other, and that is a great way to help open up that whole upper back and neck area.
All right, so in conjunction with this, the last question on here says, when you do the isometric exercise, do you need to change your hand position? Do you need to swap your hands out and go from side? Yeah.
Yes,
so.
And yes, yes we do. Because when you're, for example, if you're doing an arm curl and you're, get that out of the way. You're doing an arm curl and you're pushing down while you're also pulling up. I do it to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So every 2 bounces counts as 1, 3, 4. Well, you're going to do this side, and then you're going to want to do the other side. So you switch your hands at that point. And now you're pushing down and pulling up. So you're working the back of the right arm and the front of the left arm. And it's very, very effective. Now, if you're doing this and you're tightening your stomach as well, you can remember to do that. You're getting an isometric with this isotonic in the whole lower abdominals as well.
Okay.
And then we do a series of different movements.
So are we going to want to switch up my routine at all this week, or?
Yeah, actually, let's start bringing some more muscle mass into the...
I'm okay with that.
The exercise. So we're doing aerobics so that we can lose weight, which is good. And that's again, we're doing the breathing, gentle movement up and down, breathing in and out, the pumping action. Then we can jog. If we tilt slightly backwards, we're leveraging the weight here in the lower abdominals as we're getting our jogging. Try to lift your knees up high as you can, so it's comfortable. And then catch your breath again. You're going to do the twist movement, which helps with digestion, elimination processes, and loosens up the lower back and massages, again, the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, all those internal organs. And then we're going to do some strength exercises. So I want you to do the movements and see how fast the results are, because as we increase our muscle mass, our metabolic processes increase as well. So lift doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and see if you can do a count of 10 of those if you're comfortable with it and you're feeling you'll feel a burning feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if you go 20, count of 20, great. Sometimes I'll go 20, sometimes I'll go 30, depends how much time I have before I go to work. But they're very effective. And I mean, you will notice it. They will get stronger, they'll get harder and firmer, and as they do, you're burning fuel, so that you're working the lower legs, which are the biggest muscles for the fastest results, but you're also using muscle mass in the upper part of the body too. Do things like this. that will work all throughout the whole chest cavity, pushing in while you're moving up and down.
And can I do that when I just start off with the health bounce, or do you want me to just do the health bounce at first and then do this later?
I would recommend do the health bounce first, because you're pumping circulation to all the tissue, oxygen and blood flow. Once you've pumped it through the moving up and down, then you can utilize it.
Okay.
And it's also going to warm up that circulatory system too.
Okay, I'm excited.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll keep the customer reviews coming in. We love to share them. You are helping a lot of people, because I share these on the phone when I have a chance to talk to other people, and you've given them a lot of hope, and they've followed the routines, and they've gotten their own testimony, and they've shared those as a result. So, you know, we've turned down half a dozen infomercials because I did not want to compromise the integrity of the product. And it wasn't about money. It was about helping people get results, which it is. And that's my joy. That's what I do this for. I want to keep those results coming in. But I'm finding out that because of you, you're spreading the word. I don't have to get on television. I'm working with individuals, people building people, helping people. And I'm really thankful to you. Couldn't do it without it. Wouldn't still be in business without our Cellercise family. So I really mean it when I say thank you.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so one last quick question that I just saw popped up that maybe we'll put in here. It's not just for Apple, the app. Will it probably hit Apple first, or will it hit for the Android as well?
Okay, thank you.
So
yeah, it's available already, or it's already built for both platforms. Android, for some reason, is a lot less of a problem for us, and I don't know why, but we've had more challenges with Apple. And I'm an Apple guy. I love my Apple products. I really do. But getting the app out and getting everything up and running has been a little more challenging. But again, that being said, it should be. I'm hoping this next week. So
we're going to cross our fingers and hope for it, right?
Yes, we are. And if you're frustrated, I totally get that.
We get that. Hang in there. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you.
All right.